Okay, Nate, today you mentioned to me that you wanted to do a video about education and your views on that.
Yeah, well, see, I haven't been in school in so long now. It must have been 15, 20 years. Um, and I left in year 10, so I wasn't particularly engaged with knowledge back then, and I think that's the thing that comes with age. But what I realised, I went to university when I was about 25 and did Open Foundation, and they taught us critical thinking and they taught us to think like scientists. And then I left uni to pursue my career as an artist. Then I went on to work with Renew Newcastle. But what I've realised is, why wasn't I taught critical thinking in primary school? You know, I can't fathom it. It seems we reserve quality knowledge for people who go and get a university education, you know. Why are primary school children spoon-fed knowledge and expected to recite it, and then regurgitated in tests? You know, why aren't they taught to critically evaluate? Are they? You know, I'd have to have a look at the curriculum. I don't know what the curriculum says. I might have a look at it. I'd be very interested to have a look at it. But I was just surprised when I went to uni at 25 and I finally gained this skill of critical thinking and scientific evaluation of facts and evidence. I thought, well, why wasn't I given this in primary school? You know, this should be the first thing we're giving children. We should be giving them critical thinking and scientific evaluation from the start. So that's one thing I'd say, and I don't know if they've changed the education system so that kids are taught that reasoning in primary school now, but I'm not aware that they have, but they certainly should be. So if they are now, good. But what I've realised, you know, over the last 10 years, I've done all this extensive reading and learning, because I don't watch any entertainment content, I don't watch any movies, I don't watch any TV shows, and I don't play any video games. I pretty much exclusively read scientific articles, and watch and follow news and current affairs from numerous news sources. And what I've learned about physics, I've learned about psychology, I've learned about neurochemistry, you know, I've studied history, all on YouTube, watching like University of California, Berkeley videos and Harvard videos, because, you know, all these prestigious universities put their lectures on the internet. So I've studied all this university content just on YouTube. It's fantastic. And I just think, you know, and I realise I could have understood this when I was young. You know, why aren't we I think we should be teaching more complex stuff to children, you know. We should be teaching interpersonal relationship skills to children so that they have less conflict. We should be teaching physics, you know. We should start our education with an understanding of, we live in the universe. This is the universe, and some of the principles of the universe, like natural selection. You know, these are the things we should start with. It seems like my recollection of primary school was that they just recite you a bunch of stuff and then you to regurgitate it and take a test. You know, my idea of learning is to encourage kids to want to learn and to be excited about the subjects they're learning. You know, I don't know how much they're using internet in school now. I know there's a lot of debate about whether kids should have phones in school. Well, kids shouldn't be playing video games in class, but phones are handy tools. You know, we should be teaching children to do their own independent research and develop their own independent view of the world. You know, I'm all about developing your own independent view of the world and pursuing your own learning about the things that you're passionate about, and then you will find your path in the world. So, you know, bring more information technology into schools and get the kids on the internet more. You know, there's so much valuable knowledge on the internet. You know, there should be 2 hours a day of free study time where kids are encouraged to search YouTube for information that they find informative and engaging and interesting, and then teachers can come over and discuss what the children are finding. You know, if the children want to learn about UFOs, then the teachers can come over and can bring maturity to a discussion about videos about UFOs on YouTube, and then they can learn about freedom of information. So, you know, bring more information technology in and get kids doing independent research about the things that they enjoy, because when kids are following a subject that they're passionate about, they can become obsessive. you know, so we should encourage them to be obsessive about whatever it is that interests them. But I definitely think, you know, I don't, you know, I know there's a lot of people who struggle with education, but for the people who can handle it, I think we should teach more complex stuff at a young age. You know, I've watched all these psychology tutorials from Harvard and from UC Berkeley and stuff, and I just think, well, we should be sitting children down at 5 years old and they can watch this stuff, you know? They can understand it. I believe most children can absolutely, if they sit down and watch a university lecture about psychology, they'll struggle with it, but it'll give them at least the opportunity to think about those ideas and develop views about them. I absolutely believe education will make the world such a better place. You know, if we have better education, everything will run better. You know, the more educated people are, I won't say that more educated people are good people, because there have been plenty of educated, evil, violent people. You know, Hitler was a very educated, very well-read man. He was very intelligent, and he's one of the most evil men who's ever lived. But I will say, for the most part, the better educated people are, the better decisions they'll make. They'll make informed decisions. They'll do things that are more sensible, and society in general will work better if people are more educated. So I definitely think, you know, education is the answer.